just a little bit of time to see if anyone pops on. Regardless, this will be recorded, so no biggie. I do always want to start every discussion with a vagus nerve reset and us harmonizing our nervous system, because that is paramount to this incredible shift that is occurring right now. That is absolutely fucking insane. We are finally physically feeling the new earth. So we're going to start with checking our vagus nerve. Look to your left. That's as far as I can go, which is not very much. Okay, look to your right. Really feel what it feels like in your neck, how far back you can look with your eyes, if your vision is blurry, if there's pain. And then you're going to interlace your fingers, put them behind your neck, pull up on the skin, point your elbows to the sky, keep your head forward, and you're going to look to your left, up and to the left, and what you are waiting for is a release like that. It can also be a yawn. There is no time limit. This can come in 5 seconds or 5 minutes. Look up to your right. Do this again, waiting for a release. Again, there is no time to this. If you are new to your nervous system resetting and all of that, it can take a while. So look up to your right. There's your release. What this is doing, this posture is telling your body that you're safe and that it doesn't have to grip anymore. So now look and feel your rotation of your neck since doing that. It's huge. It's such a difference. No pain. Oh, there's a little pain back here, but I'll deal with that later. To the right, totally different. So this morning I'm going to go ahead and get right into this discussion because it's like, whoa, overflowing. So everything that is occurring right now, this feels like the rerun of 2020, but the truth is it is not rerunning, even though our systems feel the same. If you are a part of it in 2020, if you are still sleeping and weren't able to fully embody the truth that was being exposed, I really feel like in 2020, that was a huge moment for my ego to be seen, because I had been talking about these things for quite a long time. And so I was able to like really publicly display all of the information I knew. So my ego was like, yeah. And actually I was building Mama Michelle at that exact time. So I was able to channel all that information into my brand. And then this information, the resurfacing, feels like a funeral. The resurfacing of this information feels also like a bit embarrassing because of how attached I was to it in 2020. It was my identity for about 6 months until one day very strong energy came to me and said, you cannot move out of your own darkness if you are orbiting the darkness of the collective. And that woke me up. And I said, okay, I'm not going to orbit this anymore. I'm going to shift gears and I'm going to go into my more authentic state, not orbiting the, at that time I thought was new information. It wasn't new information. This has been going on for millennia. So now I get to channel this information into someone who has already lived in the eye of that storm in 2020. And now I get to be more of an anchor in this awakening. For the people who awakened in 2020, this is now the remembering. The remembering is a reminder that these things are occurring and you are still choosing to be connected to it. You are still choosing to comply to systems that have already shown you over and over that they are harming a collective society. This revealing of this information, again, 6 years later, is occurring in a very intense time. This information is also a mass collective humiliation ritual. It is a humiliation ritual that the elite are performing to continue to harvest energy, because everybody who flips out, who obsesses and worships this information and spins and crashes out, you are choosing to give away your energy to the power, the dark power. So this month is a huge month for elevation. There are a lot of things that are going on in the cosmos that are elevating people, and this is why the information is leaked, because we are in a huge second, for me, awakening, and this portal has the ability to transform people's lives and lift them up out of the 3D. If you are orbiting the information, you are orbiting the third dimension. And that is the whole purpose of this, just like it was in 2020. Another huge shift was occurring then with elections and that state, but also everything is connected mathematically to a grid system that just continues to cycle, because time is not linear. There is no past or future. There's only the current present moment over and over and over and over and over again. So the people who heard about this in 2020 and decided that they were going to try to return back to sleep and go about their life and continue working for the 1%, or continue to worship the celebrities who we heard did this and that. You're coming to a huge threshold right now. Are you going to continue to comply, or are you going to actually take action? And what I predict to happen from now until 2028 is a massive purge of big cities. People will be moving out of these big cities and into rural areas. People are going to be leaving the US, people are going to be leaving Canada, people are going to be leaving the UK even, because you can know the veil has been so thinned now from all of this new awakening energy. The veil is so thin, you cannot actually, your body and your soul connection cannot actually sustain the frequency inside cities, because cities were strategically designed to be a low frequency gridlocking system. And so what's going to happen is you're going to see this huge purge. Big things are going to drop. Big corporations are going to start losing money. Social media scrolling apps are really going to decline. Fast fashion is going to decline. You're going to see a huge decline of celebrities, A-list celebrities. And I want to touch on that right now, because I feel like this is something that not many people are discussing. And this is my belief in my reality. I am not saying an absolute of this, but if this information that I share with you aligns, then maybe this is part of your reality as well. And that's why I'm here to share things. In 2019, I believe that all of the A-list or 1% were terminated. And everyone you are seeing now is a clone, or it's either an actor wearing a really good mask disguised as, or a robot disguised as these people. And so what is going to happen next is the people who are waking up because of these files being released, they're going to go into all of these different rabbit holes, and these rabbit holes have the ability to trap you there if you cannot see that that is part of a world in this multi-dimensional reality that you get to choose to be a part of, or you get to choose to be aware of it and move away from it. This is the exact moment we are in, is we are witnessing the old earth and the new earth and the physical separating. In 2020, I witnessed it as the ethereal separation. And so now, if you took the information from 2020 and you metabolized it, you can now be in an energy, like I am, where I am not affected in any way by the information that is shared from that reality, from the 3D reality, because I am now in a different reality. I'm no longer orbiting the physical 3D reality of all of this information. Because the truth is that reality will forever and ever and ever exist. Those people, they reincarnate over and over to continue to perpetuate this same information. You can see this in many ways in different history of photos where these people look the same. Jay-Z, there's photos of a man that looks exactly like him from the 1700s. And this is, they say Epstein, he looks like on the dollar bill, and he looks like this. And that is because history repeats itself. That is because these 1%, they repopulate into their bloodline, and they show up over and over and over again to continue keeping the 3D, 2D alive. That is their role. Our role as beings from higher intelligence that come into this body, we come in as energy, limitless energy, and we decide we're going to enter the earth experience, the human experience. And we do that by plugging into this simulation. You get plugged in, you're a part of it. You agree to the amnesia that you come in with. This is before 2012. If you were born after 2012, you are not plugged into the same amnesia. You do not have that same set of rules, because 2012 actually began the disconnect, the separation. And what that looks like whenever I envision it is a 3D Earth. That's going to be your round globe lie, that fake illusion. And then there's this other Earth, and this is going to be your higher consciousness, non-illusion. So this current reality where all of this information is being released, it's speaking to the people who are on the fence between 3D and 4D. It's speaking to these people because this entire human experience that you decide to participate in is a plane of existence. There are no other planets. They're all just planes of energy, planes of existence. You can enter Venus energy through connecting to that plane of existence. You can enter that plane of existence by connecting to that energy. Learn what you need to learn about the planets, the cosmos, all of this stuff. Utilize that as an alchemist and don't orbit it. It's the same with like astrology and stuff. You can get sucked into that identity, and then you'll never outgrow or grow from the information that was given to you. It's like a cheat codes. So after 2012, then there was 2020, and now here we are in 2026, and at the precipice of a huge, major breakthrough. People are going to fully, and it's going to be a collective of people who are, I don't follow the generation labels, but early 20 or in your 20s. Those people are waking up, and they are fearless already. So whenever you hand them digital social media truths that they're trying to metabolize, they're going to be metabolizing them loudly. They're going to be metabolizing these truths, and they're going to project them and put them into the digital world. Wow, that's beautiful, because you're helping people wake up. But it's the same illusion that I thought I was doing in 2020, where I was sharing all of these truths. I was telling people you need to wake up. You cannot train people to awaken. They have to do that on their own. So I predict in however many years more, we will have another resurfacing of information. Because the truth is, when people heard about this, whatever day it was that the information dropped, you went about your life the same. You didn't go, I am not doing this anymore. I am not going to my corporate job. Nobody took a stance. That is the humiliation ritual that they're doing. They're saying, you worship me, I do all of these horrible things, but you still continue to worship me. So nobody's shifted enough. That's where we are right now. This is this huge, major, breakthrough opportunity right here and now from the energies of the cosmos, which are also, it's a design, it's a system, to the spiritual information flowing through, to a collective of people who are in their 20s who are already feeling the rebellion against the system, who are like, fuck it, I'm not going to college, I'm going to figure out how to be an entrepreneur on my own. These types of things are already moving through this awakening process, this remembering, if you're doing this for multiple times now. The difference between the remembering and the awakening is you go, I've been plugged into a system and I'm not making my own choices, and everybody has told me what to be, and I've become that because they have told me that I needed to do this, and now I'm going to go, I'm not doing this anymore. I am not participating in a system that does nothing for me. So these people are waking up and going, I see the illusion. I don't want to participate anymore. Da, 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 da. You go through life, these things fade away, the files fade away, the da, 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 fades away. If you have not made changes, you're going to go through really extreme remembering. And that remembering is going to feel the same as the awakening, where it just knocks you on your ass and you go through another dark night of the soul. If your remembering comes and you have shifted your reality, the remembering is going to be gentle, but it's going to, you cannot deny the remembering. You cannot force away the voice inside you that says your throne is waiting for you to wake the fuck up and remember your power. You can't do it anymore. You can't be living in a city and walking around in your fairy tale world and be like, oh my God, I love this place. You're gonna see it, everything so clearly. You're gonna go, what am I doing in this concrete jungle? Why am I working for these people? Why is my life orbiting my empty bank account, but I keep pretending that I have all of this money? All of these things are, why am I working this job because I have a degree when I don't even love it? What I really want to do is make music. All of these things are going to happen. This is the remembering. Why am I living here whenever my roots are in Mexico, when my roots are in Asia, when my roots are in Peru? What am I doing here? It's not going to work anymore. You're not going to be able to fight off the remembering. This is huge. And I want to address something that I know people are missing, the micro scale of the big thing occurring. So there's this huge eruption of all of these celebrities, all of these A-list people, all of these elites, all these politicians who are participating in a huge blood ritual. And that's not it. But what is happening now is, on a micro scale, these blood rituals, these mutilation is happening every minute of every day. Every time you go to a hospital and you agree to give that medical system your baby's foreskin. When you don't even know it, but they're going to take your child's organs that they grew themselves, placenta, and they're going to take this and they're going to sell it back into the 1%. Okay? This is because the 1% are like vampires. They want longevity. They want to look young forever because they're trying to sell you that there's something wrong with you, that you need to change, that you need to mutilate your body to be able to look like this. And here's the craziest part. These little micro mutilations are occurring, these little micro rituals are occurring all day, every day. And it requires you to go, oof, I can't participate in that anymore. No, of course you can't put the foreskin back on your child, but you can at least tell your person that you work with who's about to have a baby, who's a little boy, go, hey, did you know about the traditional removal of the foreskin? The oral removal of the foreskin? Just look up that. Look up this tradition. Do you want to participate in that? Because your child is going to feel every single bit of it. And then when your child is older, he's going to have issues around his genitalia and he's going to not feel secure because you removed a portion of it. It's just the same as cutting the cord that keeps all of the information, which is stored in a placenta, for your child. If you keep them connected, all of the information flows through, and whenever it's all transmitted into the baby, then you can pull the plug because it's empty, and you'll see that it's empty. It'll show you. But as soon as you give the stranger your baby, and they go, whook, they're taking all of that information and all of those stem cells and all of that amazing nutrients that were for your baby. They're going to take it, they're going to put it on the black market, and they're going to resell that. Or they're going to walk out with a red biohazard bag, and they're going to hand it to someone who's standing there who is going to go put it in the face cream that you want to buy. These things aren't hidden from us. You just have to want to see it. You have to want to see. Let's just, one major one, how about abortions? I have had an abortion. I don't regret it. I was 21. I made the choice in that moment that kept me safe, so I thought. But that in itself is a form of the same exact ritual that everybody's flipping out about. There is no difference in it. I'm not going to go down that road because I believe in pro-choice. Do whatever the fuck you want, really, because I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want, and nobody's going to tell me differently. But I'm going to do it from a new fucking lens. I know now what I did not know at 21, so you don't have any more excuses to still continue to make the same choices whenever you know better. The one thing that I think is really going to mess up people, that is if I were to ask you, name the 3 top hottest celebs that men drool over, masturbate to. I can guess them what you would say. And what I know for a fact is Megan Fox has multiple times in interviews said, I'm a man, or said, I have a bigger dick than you do. Okay? So there are a massive collective of men who are sending out their seed to the vision of a celebrity, an icon, a sexual icon, who they have been told is a woman. The truth is, she's not. So what that does to your energetic core, without the men even knowing, this goes the other way around too, without the men knowing, they are choosing the energy of another man, even if this man, that's the human man, still believes that it's a woman. What's happening energetically and multidimensionally, this is where people are going to have a hard time following me, I believe. This is a multidimensional reality. In this reality, we have this current reality, another lifetime, another, all the lifetimes you've ever lived. There's no past or future. It's all parallel right here. So if you, in this reality, are worshiping a celebrity who is active in the humiliation ritual for the humans, so let's name it, Megan Fox is pretending to be a hot woman. This man is constantly producing for the idea of this woman. Multidimensionally, this is tying these men into homosexuality. Love them, love me some homosexuality, no problem at all. I'm just trying to express to you how multidimensionally these lies from the 1% are affecting the souls who are in their reality, trying to navigate their own personal traumas. When you add in a illusion like this, it's way bigger than you think. You're going to add in this illusion that this man is worshiping a woman called Megan Fox. The truth is, Megan Fox is a man. I don't care about that anymore. I've already went down all of the 90% of Hollyweird or transgender. But the thing that affects us is, why are they lying? If it's okay, and if it's this, let's normalize it, all of that, why is the lie occurring? And that is because in a multidimensional reality, it affects you in how you elevate consciously in this reality. it's so entangled and it's so deep and it's so multidimensional that until you recognize this as truth, there's going to be an uproar of people who don't want to believe that all of these women or all of these actors that they worship and they, get off to are not what they seem. And that is going to affect you in your other realities, because in those other realities, you are now participating man to man whenever you thought that you were heterosexual in this reality. Does that make sense at all? Because this is something I feel like needs to be broken down into the multidimensional reality that we live in. All of this information is stirring inside of people. The truths in the simulation, you came in, you chose to, you said, sign me up, plug me in. You wake up into reality where every single thing, choice, life, ritual, ceremony, tradition, all of it is chosen for you. And it is up to you to awaken in that and go, I'm reclaiming my power and I'm taking that back. This is the most challenging obstacle you will face to enter the remembering, because as soon as you enter the remembering phase, you can see it all clearly. You can see all of the 3D like this, like you're watching a movie. You're actually watching the full documentary of how the old world crumbled. And then you can look over here and go, oh, there's another option that a collective of people are now pouring into, and that's going to be a more harmonious earth where we're not orbiting the 1%, where we're not orbiting the celebrities. This is when the full 3D higher dimensional splits. No, it's not going to be a physical world difference. You're not going to actually leave this reality. But your consciousness will now be sovereign versus you being a slave to a system. So, anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Okay, ciao.